Eventually, I'ma prove to people that's against me wrong. Eventually, BlackFlag 3.5 gonna get the recognition it deserves. Gang.
Alright, coming this way from you live from Harlem, East Side. We're here with my man Knocka. Knocka, what's up, man?
What's the word, man?
Good. Getting straight into this, man. I know you recently been working on your BlackFlag 3.5. What made you start working on that?
Alright, well, it was a time in my life where I had like this crazy huge buzz on Harlem. Then from not really being focused on the actual project, I was distracted and I was doing a lot of other things and I kind of lost my buzz. Because you know, what the society is like, out of sight, out of mind, that's what anything. And I was out of sight. I wasn't shooting videos, I wasn't writing, I wasn't putting music out. And so I came back and I made this actual track that was really like different from my normal type of music. Because at the beginning of my ways, I was, my artist days, I was making party music, up-tempo music, turned up music, and then I just felt like that wasn't what I'm here for as far as music. I felt like pain, poverty, you know, realness, what BlackFlag is all about. So I came up with this BlackFlag thing, which stands for, of course, pain, poverty, knowledge, real wisdom, and all that, unity. And I made a movement behind it. And I dropped BlackFlag, and then BlackFlag took over. Right, so took all over Harlem. And with the success of that, I made still BlackFlag, and then I made BlackFlag 3. Then I went and made a mixtape out of that actual category, and I made Grateful But Not Satisfied. That took over.
That was a banger.
That was a banger. So I was trying to figure out which way to go with that. Then I was listening to the old Meek Mills, who I feel like I relate to as far as some of his ways. And he had Flamers, I think it was 3.5 or something like that. And when I'm in BlackFlag mode, it's usually freestyle, it's not original music. You know what I'm trying to say? Unless it's Grateful But Not Satisfied, it's original music. So when I came up with the idea to do BlackFlag 3.5, I just needed to take a couple beats, instrumentals, sit down and just, you know, pour my heart out from there. So basically when I came up with that idea, like instead of making BlackFlag 4, let me give him 3.5, which is gonna be a quick little 12-track type of disc and just try to like put it out there as me, you know, just wilding, lyrically wilding, and also being me at the same time, same artist here.
Alright, so in your mixtape, you have a song called Out Eventually, talking about like a bad experience with a girl.
Yeah.
Do you mind talking about that real quick?
Well, I feel like once you say the name of who you're talking about, it takes away from the listener's ear. You know what I'm trying to say? So whoever's listening, they're gonna think about who I'm talking about. And I want them to be relatable. I want them to feel relatable from whatever their experience is. Right. So as far as who it is, I mean, it's irrelevant, but the whole song was just deep, you know what I'm saying? My experience about a girl, how one encounter with a girl would just turn everything into a whole different story.
Right. A lot of people was feeling that. What you got like 40,000 views on the track right now?
Yeah, we did 40,000 views in a month, which is not really, it's a wonderful feeling, you know, but in the most comfortable way, you know, in the most humble way, I mean, you know, I reach these type of numbers with, you know what I'm saying, on any other song.
Music promoted itself.
Right, you know what I'm saying, promotes itself, good music promotes itself.
Right.
So I'm looking forward for that to hit 100,000, but yeah, eventually it's a strong track, and I never really used that type of flow that I use.
Right, I definitely heard it. When I heard BlackFlag, the first one, I definitely felt like this is a Harlem rapper. Like, you know, he's from Harlem, he's talking about shit like this.
Yeah.
And when you came out with Grateful But Not Satisfied, I was feeling like, yo, he's out here.
Yeah.
He's grinding and shit. And once I felt like there was no music coming out of you from those after that, I felt like, I'm hoping he comes back on this.
Right.
And when I heard you was making the BlackFlag 3.5, I was like, yo, it's lit. Heard Eventually, we did the in-studio shoot. That shit was crazy. Yeah. And then that's when I was really feeling it, and I was like, nah. He had like, he kicked it off. Like, you switched up your whole style.
Yeah.
From BlackFlag to Grateful But Not Satisfied till now, you can definitely see the change in you.
Yeah, even with the breaks, you gotta remember I'm still writing, you know what I'm saying? So even if I'm taking breaks, I'm still writing, because my music is not, I know this might sound cliche, but it's 100% real experience. Every bar, there's a meaning behind it. And the next interview that we do, you know, I'm gonna sit up there and try to break down like at least one track so you can understand like how every one bar that I write is really from the.
And that's why I really fuck with you. I remember when I first started hearing you, I was like, nah, his bars is like straight.
Yeah, straight.
Like, you can always hear something and you'll be like, nah, whatever he's saying is real. Just because of the bars, like, it's crazy. Like, you know what you've been going through has to be real. No, you can't come up with a bar like that and be like, nah, I ain't go through that
no
shit.
matter who you are. Like, if you look at it eventually, I said, as far as pertaining to girls, I said, you could give a bitch your all, and she gonna still want more. I done dealt with her insecurities and all of her flaws. She used to deep throat her and put her all on her jaw. Had no money for no bed. We used to sleep on the floor. What type of artist is gonna relate to this type of, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what artist is gonna say this, admit this? You know what I'm trying to say? Had no money for no bed. We used to sleep on the floor. Hoes say they different. I can't tell these hoes apart still. Every girl that I met was telling me, like, you know, I'm not like these other hoes, but I couldn't tell it apart still. Like, hoes say they different. I can't tell these hoes apart still. Goddamn. Oh well. Promise I would not fail. Dick game. Put her in her feelings like a cocktail. So, you know, these type of bars is coming from real scenarios. There's nothing that's made up, or, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like that.
Right. So I recently know that you've been going to GED classes. What made you start going into that?
Everything in my life I finished. Besides school. Everything in my life. Anything that I've ever started to do, I finished. When I was 18, I inherited a lawsuit for over $1 million. So at this time, I'm like, the fuck I need school for? For what? I'm straight for the rest of my life. Right. And the reason why I felt like I was straight for the rest of my life with $1 million is, you know, because I'm from Wagner Projects, right? So it's like, you have this experience of nothing. So when I got $1 million, and the first thing that I took out was $20,000. When I seen that I had $980,000 left, I said, oh yeah, I'm rich forever. So in my mind, I got like $20,000 in my pocket, and I'm like, shit, this gonna take a while for me to blow, and I got 980 more? Shit, fuck school. For what? You know what I'm trying to say? But it was, that was the laughing and immature matter of it in the beginning. Right. And then after I blew it and I went broke, I really came to a point in my life where it was like, then I had to get myself back on my feet, and then I realized, like, yo, you know, with these kids, man, I got a genuine passion, love for these kids out here. So I can't keep telling these kids to go to school and go to school and go to school. School is so important, and I don't have nothing to show for it. So my real reason of going to school was, number one, finish what I started, and number two, to show these kids that, yo, we could be. I want to show them better than I could tell them that, yo, you know, I got my shit together. Get yours.
What grade did you just like stop?
I was in Rice High School. I stopped at 12. Yeah.
Oh damn! Your last year.
Yeah, my last year.
Did you finish that?
Nah, I got the lawsuit and I just left. I didn't even go back to school, and I was in school with Kimmel Walker. You know, I just read about him getting a $40 million contract, and I was, you know, Dougie Fresh son, Salome and Dede. You know, I know them personally. Another guy who's a big accountant for Chris Brown. He just passed. Rest in peace, Kev Shaw. You know, and I'm seeing the way he's living, and you know, I'm looking at all these people that got themselves together and how they finished school. You know, and I got my money when I was at 18. It was just wrong timing. Right. And I just strayed from it.
So you got a second single called She. Why did you decide to call it that?
Well, the reason why it's called She is because I said she 16 times in the song. You know what I'm saying? I said she a lot. So basically, you know, all my music is BlackFlag, still BlackFlag, and then BlackFlag 3. And when I said, you know, I don't really make a lot of girl tracks. Don't get me wrong, I got fuck relationships, and you know, I got certain side nigga, right? Those great tracks, but I felt that, like, Letter to My Exes is one of my biggest records, right? And
everybody's fucking with that.
And it's a girl record. Right. And I see what, you know, I'm not gonna say names, but other artists is doing, and I see how big they became by writing for the girls. So I knew that I could write for the girls and still be Knocka, the lyricist that I could be. Then I said, I'm gonna do it. So I wrote She because I said she 16 times, and it's really was supposed to be called He, She, because there's a part where I'm talking to a female, and then it breaks, and I'm talking to a male, and then back to a female. It's dope. Anyway.
Right. So what are your plans of getting back into the game?
Getting back into the game? Just keep dropping these records. Consistency, man. That's my thing, man.
That's what I've noticed about you. You've been dropping like a lot of records and stuff, and they've been banging for like a while. Like I still listen to BlackFlag and be like, yo, this guy was crazy. Like he came up from the gutter. Then I listen to Grateful but Not Satisfied, and I'm like, yo, why is this guy not signed?
Right.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think that I'm not signed because I gotta do more. See, a lot of niggas out here make a lot of excuses. You know, they be like, yo, I don't got no team, or yo, I don't got no money, or, you know what I'm saying, yo, I don't got nobody support me, I don't got no investors, or, man, you don't need shit. You just gotta go hard. No matter how hard you think you're going, there's so much harder that you have to push yourself. And I gotta push myself even harder. No matter how hard I think I'm going, I gotta push myself even more. I'm not gonna blame nobody for my failure. And it's not failure, because I'm still trying, of course, but I'm not gonna blame nobody for not being at that finish line. And mind you, in the underground world, you are starting a race, right? And then when you reach that finish line, you get that deal, the race starts all over. It's a whole nother race, because now you're no longer racing with these underground names. Now you with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? You with the Kanye's, you dropping singles that have to be better in
everyone else's.
Kanye and Drake, and these niggas is making it very complicated. You know what I'm trying to say? Unless you don't really care, you just want to make $1, then that's gonna show in your music. But when it's a passion, you're gonna sit up there and try to be better than the Travis Scotts, the Drakes, the, you know, even A$AP Rockies and the Kanye's. And I'm trying to say, you just gotta make it really push yourself to make that good music, from the beats to the writing to the songs and substance in the music.
Right. Getting into those rappers, how do you feel about this new generation, the rappers coming through? Like, how do you feel about their music?
I feel like if you in this music shit for $1, you in the wrong game.
You mentioned that in one of your songs.
Yeah, gangster. You in the music shit for money, man. You know, like, you gotta be passionate. You gotta have passion with this shit. Music doesn't give a fuck. You know what I realized? Music don't give a fuck about your personal problems. Music is very selfish. It doesn't care if you got evicted. It doesn't care if you bum, if you're a homeless person, if you going through love problems. Music don't give a fuck. Music wants you to pay it attention 100%.
So you have a song called "Blame It on Don Q" in your BlackFlag 3.5 mixtape. Why is that?
I heard. It's a lot of speculation of that song too, because I dropped it, just me spitting it on Facebook, and it kind of went viral. But I heard A Boogie and Don Q on Funk Master Flex, and when Don Q is first on that same beat, because the Blaming on the Don Q is the Uchi Wally Wally beat by Nas, and when I heard him spit that shit, the verse that he had to it, it motivated me to do the same beat, and I bugged out on that beat. So when it's called Blame It on Dog Q, I'm basically saying, you know, props to him. He's the reason why I'm doing this beat. He's the reason why I'm snapping on this beat right now. So basically, that's what that was about.
Do you feel like you're the best in the city?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Why is that?
This ain't a, let me tell you something. This shit ain't up for discussion. None of that shit. There is not another artist who can lyrically compete with me. I don't give a fuck if you from Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, Antarctica. As far as when we talk about the topics of real and lyricists, I'm the best in the city, hands down. If you break down, like I said, this is my first interview. If you break down the lyrics that I'm saying in this motherfucking music, you listen with your eyes closed, and you zone out to it, and you really take heed to what I'm saying, you're gonna feel you're gonna feel that pain straight up.
I'm telling you, I did that to a lot of your songs, and that's just like. I feel like when you came out with, what was it? Real? That shit was hard.
Realize everyone ain't loyal. Yeah.
I was just like, nah, that's some crazy shit.
Now have majority of society take this time out and do exactly what you're doing. Give it that shot. You know what I'm saying? Instead of whatever it is that you're out there doing, if you hear a Knocka track, just listen to it. And you'll understand the cockiness. You'll understand why I feel that way. Mind you, I've been in this game 12 years. I've been relevant for 12 years.
Right.
Fuck a deal, fuck all that shit. I have a lot of things on my resume that another person can't tell you. They can't tell you they got songs with Nicki Minaj. They can't tell you they got songs with Max B. French Montana, YG, no deal, no money. Right? No money, no nothing. Over 10 million views worldwide. I never had a manager. I never had a motherfucking, I never had a promoter. I never had none of that. I never had nothing. I created myself. I created the name that I made. My actions is what made me legendary in my city.
Do you feel like religion should be chosen by a household?
Hell no.
How come?
The reason why religion shouldn't be chosen as household, because if you come up in a house full of Christians, and you choose to be a Christian, you're not really a Christian. You know what I'm trying to say?
Because you were born into it?
Yeah, you're really a Christian, of course. I'm not taking that from you. I'm not saying that, but I'm just feeling like if you grow up in a family that's Muslims and you choose to be Muslim because everybody in your family is Muslim and you grew that love for it, you can't really say you're really a Muslim. If you only read the Quran, you can't say you really enjoy being a Muslim and this is what you really want to be. Why? Because you never gave the Bible a chance. You never read different religion books that make you feel. All right, your whole outlook of reading the Quran, if I'm Muslim, and I only read the Quran, and I say, this is what it is, this is what I believe in. How the fuck would I know that if I never picked up the Bible? How? How would I know that? I would never know in no way, shape, or form if I would say, no, I feel this way. You have literally big pastors that went from being a Christian to being a Muslim after years of then reading the Quran and say, nah, you know what? This shit make more sense, you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like, yo, you can't grow up in one household and feel like, because everybody in your family is something, this is what you want to be.
Do you feel like the pastors are fake?
Hell yeah. That's why I'm going to church.
Why?
The reason why I feel pastors are fake, every pastor in the world, I will not go. If I could walk in the church and the pastor, they preach for you to, they motivate you, of course. You got some pastors that motivate you, and you got some pastors that, you know, preach the Bible, and they are living, every single one of them are telling you, the number one saying is practice what you preach, right?
Right.
Now, the only way I will go to church and respect a specific pastor is if I come in there and that nigga say, yo, I got a motherfucking hangover, but look. Or he say, yo, I just had a crazy ass threesome, but look, you know what I'm trying to say?
Right,
if I meet these type of pastors that's gonna do that, don't just sit up there and preach to people how they should live or what they should do. And you're not abiding by these rules yourself. If don't get on, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you as the perfect person. If you're not, then I'm not understanding what you're preaching to me for. I want you to tell me your downfalls. And what they'll do is they'll tell you the downfalls from 3-4 years ago to make it seem like their life changed. No, nigga, tell me the fucked up shit you just did yesterday.
Right.
Tell me the fucked up shit you just did before you came to church. If you're not real enough to do that, then I don't want to listen to you. I'm not going to sit there and let you tell me what the fuck I should work on when you leaving the church and you going to go do the same fucked up shit you do, because we know they're not perfect, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, boom, if a pastor wound up having sex with 3 different girls in his church, instantly, it creates a spark, it's a buzz, it's a problem, right? Because it's just something he's not supposed to do.
Right.
All right, boom. So you mean to tell me that this pastor's still human, he still make mistakes. So I feel like, being that we know that you're human, and we know that you're gonna make mistakes, I feel like when you stand up and you preaching to us during that service, tell us exactly what you're currently doing right. If you're not gonna do that, I don't wanna hear you. You're not gonna tell me that you just drunk a gallon of Henny and you fucked 4 bitches. If that's what you did, I don't wanna hear you. It's the same thing with rappers. Right? Am I right or left? Right?
That's true.
No,
that's true.
I don't want people to take this interview wrong because of what I'm saying. If fuck talking about just a pastor. Let's talk about literally people in the world. We literally degrade and come and we diss people as far as artists who sit up there and they rap about things that they do not live. Right?
Right. That's
so
all the time.
Why? Because a pastor's more of a touchy subject that we feel like we can't. I'm speaking on all that shit, and if you feel like you want to object, that's your business. But this is my opinion.
Right.
This is my opinion. I don't want to hear a rapper that lived good, that's from the sticks and talking about the trenches. No. You know what I'm trying to say? Stick to what the fuck you believe in. I'll never knock a rapper for not talking about street shit if that's not what he lived through. I just knock I knock a rapper that would just literally go against everything of what he actually seen and experienced. You know what I'm saying? Right. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing with pastors. If you are not going to sit up there during this service and be 100% real with me, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what you're saying. Seriously. And I don't think none of these pastors are real. I think all the motherfuckers is fake. And I think that everybody should stop going to church, listening to these people. You can read the Bible yourself. You can decipher that shit yourself. And you could, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you stop going to church. I'm not saying that. But I feel like you should literally look into your pastor and see that if he's one of these people that they're supposed to be role models. So tell us your wrongs and your rights. And I don't want to hear your wrongs for 4 years. I want to hear your current wrongs. Right. Now, I can't say every pastor's fake. I don't know every pastor, so I take that part back. But I do want to say that I haven't met a real pastor that's going to keep it 100% authentic, that'll make me go sit for an hour and a half testing a service or 2 hour service or even a half an hour service. If I feel like you're being fake, I'm getting up, I'm walking out. That's even if a girl is in my face and she's not keeping it 100% authentic, I'm getting up and I'm walking away. Right. That's just with anything. I want you to be authentic. If you ain't going to be authentic with me, I'm not going to waste my time talking to fake when I could be literally occupying myself talking to real. Gangster.
See, you always hear some real shit coming out this guy's mouth, whether he's rapping or just talking. So, coming up from Wagner, whatever the project, straight out of Harlem, do you feel like it's the parents' like responsibility for the kids growing up through poverty?
No.
Or is, like, what's the deal with that?
All right, as far as growing up poverty, all right, I'm from Wagner. Right. Inside of Wagner is thousands of kids, right? When I came up from Wagner, I didn't even know what a white kid looked like. Not one white kid. I didn't know what a Caucasian kid looked like. I met Mexicans. I met Honduran, Puerto Rican, Dominican. Every minority I met growing up in projects. I've never had even one white friend growing up in projects, right? By the way, I fucking love Caucasians, but I said that to say this. A black parent is faulted for the way that we're living. When we grow up, even my mother, I'm not talking about nobody else, mother in a derogatory way, I'm talking about your mother and my mother if you grew up in this fucked up living. If a parent decides to lay down and have sexual intercourse and conceive a child while living fucked up, I feel like this is the most, you're putting your son through pain.
Right.
A lot of Caucasians, they conceive children when they are in a better predicament. Now, and then some of these fucking parents would know that it's hard to feed one child. It's hard to take care of one child.
And
they will have 2, 3, 4 kids in the fucking projects. And they wonder why one is shot, one is out here robbing and killing, one is a rapist, and the other one is in jail. They wonder why their kids are either killed or in jail. It's all right. They say it takes a village to raise a child, right? Which means that it's no longer the parent fault. You could be the best parent in the world. Once your child go outside, you're no longer raising that child.
Right.
Once that kid step foot outside, you're no longer the parent of that child. No longer. Right. It's up to the streets to put in that kid's head however he should move. So when you grow up in a village full of drug dealers, scammers, robbers, and shooters and robbers, you're gonna be either one of the 4. It's a very small percentage who's gonna intellectually feel mentally bigger and rise above all that.
Right.
So if you were raising your kid in the poverty, in the slums, what are the chances of him going to school and getting his fucking diploma if no kid around him has their diploma? What is the chances of him becoming a doctor if there are no doctors around him? Right? You say you gotta surround yourself around the people that you most likely want to be influenced by, right? So if you want to be anything in life, if you want to do construction, if you want to talk to some construction, you're going to keep yourself around these type of people to get better information, or you're going to train yourself. It's either or. So how am I going to become a doctor if all my friends are the complete opposite? So as a mother, as a parent, you have to, and I'm not knocking the single parents, and I'm trying to say that has one kid and they're in a fucked up situation right now. I'm not knocking that. I feel like the first one child was a mistake. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Not mistake of actually having them, but it didn't go as planned. You had the kid. No problem. To have 2, 3, 4 kids living in a low income projects, community, period, it is the most absurd thing. Right. It's the most absurd thing. And then you wondering why your kid is not listening to nothing that you say because he's influenced by everything that he's seeing going on in these streets. Everything. Right. But if you're the race, this is why there is a difference between Manhattan and Harlem. These kids coming up down, it's a whole different. I chill with a black girl, I go on a date with a black girl. Me and her, we talking about Keisha, Tanya, Michael, John. I go on a date with a white girl. These girls, their mindset is different. They talking about school, they talking about partying, having fun, living their lives. Right. When I'm around black people, it's like a lot of black girls and black guys, period, all together, put together, their mind is just sucked from their communities.
All right, so what I was saying was like, I can't remember exact words, but just the perception of how black people, you're a black man just like myself, people are gonna view it like, damn, this nigga Knocka saying black people and shit, and white people are better than us in all ways. Don't you like? I feel like you're gonna lose people, especially black people, even black and brown people, like because like, oh damn, I'm growing up in the project. She's trying to tell me I'm not gonna, be as I can't be on the same level as a white person. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't feel.
No. Again, like I said, if anybody out there who will ever even think that I'm against black people, have to be insane. I'm not putting I'm putting white people on a pedestal because they are on a pedestal. I'm not saying that whites are better than us. All right, I was raised by a quote that says, better decisions leads you in better predicaments. So what I'm saying by that sentence is saying that these Caucasians are making better decisions than us. And this is why they are in better predicaments than us. Now, of course, they chose to conceive a child when they was financially stable. And then that child, not all of them, of course, I can't speak for all of them. I'm just saying majority of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You even look at the one that's probably doing somewhat the baddest out of the Caucasian group, it's still not a 0.25% of what a struggling black mom is going through. And that's because she chose to have that kid at the right time. You know what I'm trying to say? Even if Tom, the Caucasian father, is not there, the mother is still already in a predicament where she could do it on her own financially. You know what I'm trying to say? So like I said, like you told me you was from Highbridge, right? Yeah. How much Caucasians live in your area? No. How big is Highbridge from as far as radius?
Yeah, because it goes into Washington.
It goes into Washington Heights. So we talking about 15 block radius, 20 block radius, a mile long,
maybe like 2 miles.
About 2 miles long. And how much Caucasians you exposed to? Besides if they going to the Yankee game? None, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. Now, of course, now what you did was just agree with me in somewhat, because now you showing that all these people are conceived in low income, and of course, if we're black, our parents is black, of course, right? And that means that we was conceived in the hood. This is why we rep the hood. This is why we shoot for our hood, because this is where we from.
That's what we know.
This is what we know. So when we see a young nigga saying, yo, this is my hood, I ain't gonna let nobody disrespect it, he only protecting where he was raised. That's all he's doing. Now, of course, I'm not promoting violence in no way. I just want you to understand that this nigga that kid was looking up to gave him this mentality. Now he has that mentality. His OG that he looked up to is not a fucking doctor. He got a Lamborghini from the streets, and he want to be like him. How did you get this? I'm selling this, young boy. This is what I'm selling. I'm selling drugs out here, young boy. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm out here. He looking at this nigga like, he not looking at his pops. He don't got 9 times out of 10, he don't got no pops. So his father figure is the nigga from his hood. And that nigga is selling drugs, and he's slinging cane, or he's doing whatever he's doing illegally to get money. So who am I going to idolize that fit that father figure spot? Him. Him is who I'm looking to. So now I'm gonna follow the same lead. Take a village to raise a child. Now if that village is drug dealers, scammers, and doctors, again, that's most likely what your child is going to be. So all I'm saying is that I love this color, 100%. I don't want to be nothing else. But I'm just saying that Caucasians are making better decisions than us. Black people still feel like this 40 acres and a mule. A lot of black people, I'm talking about my home, but from a good spot, you ever heard of good criticism? This is all this is. Don't ever think I'm downgrading us. I'm downgrading some of us. Black people look at society and they say, 40 acres and a mule, and they blame slavery. Yo, life don't owe you nothing. When you come in this motherfucker, you got family, you got friends, and even if you got that, but you really only got yourself. When you get locked up, you gotta do that, babe. When you get put in that casket, you gotta sit in there. So stop feeling like whatever the fuck happened 70 years ago in slavery, these Caucasians owe us, they don't owe us nothing. They wasn't the ones at this generation put us into slavery, of course, because they live in their lives, we live in ours, right? So at the end of the day, we strong enough to get up, if Jay-Z, Oprah, these people come from the slums, right? To make 500 fucking million coming out of Marcy projects. It's not hard, right? I mean, it's the hardest thing in the world, but it's not impossible, I'm trying to say, right? Of course, because someone did it. If it was impossible, it would never been done. Another nigga, Dr. Dre. We talking about Compton. We talking about P. Diddy. We talking about 700 million. This is almost $1 billion. Now I'm trying to say these kids had no spoons in their mouths. They made something out of nothing. So if they did, stop feeling like somebody supposed to give you some. A lot of our people was on welfare. When you go to Saudi Arabia, in that country, when you go to when you there is no welfare. Which means you don't work, you don't eat. And they say it in the Bible. Right. You don't work, you don't eat. These people, I feel like welfare should be given to people that is disabled, right, and people that actually needs the help. I've seen people able to jump, hop, skip, talk, dance, break dance, do backflips, and go to the welfare office. Yeah. You are 100% mentally straight and you are 100% physically straight. What do you need welfare for? And then they start conceiving more kids and saying, more money from the government. Right. Sister, get the fuck up. It's a life full of opportunities out here. You're not gonna grab one of them? If it's literally 1 billion opportunities rolling around our motherfucking body right now, we're not gonna grab one of them, none of them? We're just gonna feel like we can keep living and surviving over this $500 a month and $700 if it's 4 kids, or whatever the amount is? When some countries you can't even reap the benefits of having welfare because they don't even have it. If you're broke, you're broke. If you got money, you got money. Simple as that. I don't give a fuck who feels way about what I'm about to say. I'm not Team Donald Trump. If he comes the president and he does make it hard for us, he's gonna make it hard for black people. And that's what we need that push for. This is why some people, I'm not with him. I'm going with Hillary. But I do want to say that this is why people are scared, because he's gonna give us that push that we need. Right. Everything's gonna be more expensive, and you know he's the opposite of Democratic. You know what I'm trying to say? He's a Republican, so he, you know, they feel like, you know, you can go and get it. There's nobody stopping you. I personally don't give a fuck who becomes president, because president has never helped my community. President has never helped my moms. President has never helped my little. When my little brother needs some sneakers, president ain't helped me. When my little mother needs something to eat or food for that table, president ain't helped me. I don't give a fuck who, but we can have no president. No matter what happens in this motherfucking world, I'm gonna make sure my family got it, and that's how we show all that. I don't give a fuck about who becomes president.
Going into politics, you think you're gonna vote?
Hell no. I ain't voting. Wow. First of all, I'm a convicted felon, so I can't fucking vote. Second of all, it's like, you know, I don't care for it. I don't care who becomes the president. I only care for the youth. And this is across the world, not just my family. When I said my family has made it seem like I was being more selfish. I just care for the youth, and I just want them to strive. No matter who becomes the president, I want to tell the next young black man and the next Caucasian and the next Mexican and the next Dominican, put your family in a better position. Stop looking for politicians and Democratic and put your own family in the predicament they need to be in. You have the power to do that, young man. And if you make the right decisions, your family will be straight. But for you, that's it. You don't need nobody else to take care of your family.
So you had a quote saying that getting rich, you had to be stingy and for yourself. Why is that?
I saw an interview with Tupac. He said, no one should have $32 million when there's people homeless in the street.
Right.
Again, better decisions leave you in better predicaments, right? So if that man is homeless, these are the decisions that he chose to make. No one can be faulted for your decisions. No one. If that man got $32 million, however he got it, You gotta go get it. That money, they don't stop printing money. They don't stop printing that shit. They don't stop. So unless, like I said, you're disabled, you have no excuse. If you're not physically disabled or mentally disabled, then you have no excuse not to go get that money. So like I said, as far as being stingy, you have to be stingy, because how much people that you know say, yo, I'm a good nigga, and they done gave out this, and anything somebody asks for, they give it to them. They fucked up. Financially fucked up, right? Everybody has to get up. The good niggas like myself, we end up with the short end of the stick, right? And then the motherfucker that say no all the time, he got all his candy. Right. He got all his money. He got all his clothes. But when we say yeah, and we lend it to Michael and Murder Mike and whoever the fuck name we lend our clothes to, trying to be nice, hey, hold us down. Hey, what's the 4 minutes? Hold this shit down. We're gonna look good together. You did a good deed, of course. Yeah, you did a good deed. Now your ball mates come back ripped. Now the nigga don't know where his shirt at, or come back filthy or fucked up. Had you kept your own shit, you would have it. And that's the same thing with money. If you keep your own shit, you'll have it. Right. Jay-Z said a quote, said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back to me. That's a win-win. He was one of the poor. He got rich. He kept his motherfucking money. Now he rich. Now people might look at that as fucked up. Pac is my idol. I disagree when he say that everybody should be treated equally. No, I feel like this world is set up perfectly when you gotta get up and you gotta go get it. I don't give a fuck about your excuses. And when you get it, you take care of yourself. Stop looking out so much time. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. Because that person that's begging you, he or she is gonna find a yes from someone else. Just don't let that be your loss. Now, mind you, how many times you done loaned the nigga $30, $40 and he paid you back the $30, $40 that you loaned him? Fuck benefit did you get from that? He just took the money out your pocket for however long. Sometimes if he even give you back the $30, $40, then sometimes they give you back the same amount that you already had. When a bank give you a loan, it's interest on that motherfucker. So we gonna give you this money, you gonna give us this back. So therefore, it's a reason why I did it. Everything has to benefit you, and that's how you gotta start looking, because the more you keep being this nice, I see people 67 years old, like, yo, I'm nice, I've been nice all my whole life, and they don't got shit to show for it, because they gave it to everybody else. Hold your shit. And that's just how they gotta go. Take care of your family, hold your shit. No matter who the fuck they what, you could be a good person all you want. Guess what? If your words can inspire a person to go get you, go get himself what he asking you for, then your money can't either. And I don't think nobody in the world is going to understand the deepness of what I just said. If your words, if your motivation to that kid, if he's asking me for a shirt, if what I'm telling him verbally to persuade him to physically go get that $600 in Vinci shirt he want, and he mentally doesn't understand anything I'm saying, to go get it on his own, then my money for him to go get it on me is nothing, right? Because I'm going to give it to him. Now guess what? When it's time for him to go get another one on his own, he's going to have to come to someone else. But if he learn how to get it himself, he going to always know how to get it, right? That's how it is. Keep your shit, bro. Them good hard people, we last long as far as life. Right. But we die with nothing. And the stingy niggas die with everything. How the fuck does Bill fucking Gates has $81 billion? Could we even imagine? $81 billion.
God damn.
Whoa. And we sit up there and we giving out the little bit that we got. And a nigga with 81 billion is not that giving. Oh, nah. It's something going on right now that I need to start taking heed of. If these motherfuckers is stingy and they got $81 billion, I gotta do the same thing. You gotta make sure yourself is right before you can fix anyone else. If you're not right, I'm gonna make sure. If I'm not right, I'm gonna make sure you're right. I'm gonna set you straight if I'm not straight. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I'm straight and then I can make sure you're straight. But my straight is, I wanna make sure I'm straight to where even what you asking for can't even hurt me if you don't do right. So even
so going into the next question, how is this generation different from yours? Like, I'm a youngin' and like you way older than me, but like I'm saying, like we come
to see like I was 40 years old. How old are you?
I'm 17, bro.
17, oh yeah, I'm way older than you. You're right.
But I'm saying we come from the same hood. Like you was growing up in Wagner. I'm from 119th and Second.
That's
like
right
we,
there.
we're right there.
Yeah. I went to school in 119th.
Right. Yeah. So how was it? How was it different growing up during your years?
Well, coming from where I came from, man, fuck where I came up from. In my genre, I mean, in my generation, when you coming up and you curse, your mama ain't gotta be the one that heard you. That motherfucking adult right there that's sitting right next to you, whoever he is, he smacked the shit out you. He brought you to your mama. Now you got two whippings. She got the whip. You got your ass whipped by that stranger, and then when you went home, she whipped your ass too. Nowadays, since we're not the father to these kids, you know how much kids I done heard? Like, to this day, I see kids and they cursing. I tell them to stop cursing or whatever the kids may be. You know, they familiar with my popularity, so, you know, they most likely respect me. But, you know, it's like, that's not my kid. So, I can't do nothing to that kid. But when I was coming up, that's not how the feathers in the, because mind you, where I came from, you know, everybody is the same. These are the same niggas that's going to put $1 in your pocket if you ask for it. Yo, OG, what's up? Can I get $1? He going to give you $1. No problem. But he also telling you, yo, I'm gonna give you $1. I'm gonna set you straight when you need to be straight, right? But if you're also doing something wrong, I'm gonna put you in your place. So this was also my parent right here too, you know what I'm trying to say? Right. So if I see him, just as I couldn't say the F word in front of my moms, I couldn't say it around him neither. Or if I'm bullying a kid at the moment, I'm not gonna say bullying because I don't promote that at all, but if I'm going at it with somebody, we have an argument, I'm talking crazy, you know what I'm trying to say? He gonna put me in my place, grab me up. I'm talking about grab me up. What you doing? What you doing? You stupid? Are you dumb? This how you was raised? You got manners? They gonna bring me to my mama. Hit me up, then bring me to my mama. Tell my mom, yo, this is what he was out here doing. I called him, I brought him to you, then she gonna whip my ass. Now I gotta sit in the corner or go to my room. So I was punished twice. These kids out here, the older heads are persuading the kids to do what they do. I done talked to an OG before who seen this young boy. I'm not gonna say his name, but son of shooter, full-blown shooter, right? He's hot-headed. He get upset, he see his oppositions, he shoot. No stopping him. And I talk to him all the time. And the only time he doesn't act is when he's around me. So I'm talking to another OG that's older than me, twice as older than me. So he like, yo. So I'm coming out the car, I see him talking to the kid. He like, yo, I like this style, youngin'. I like this style. You keep this shit with you, your gun all over. I bet you got that shit on you right now. Yo, B, that's real, B. Hold yourself down, nigga. Like, I like the way you doing it, my nigga. You protect your motherfucking turf as you should.
Right.
What? You just told that little nigga to throw his motherfucking life away. What are you talking about? You like what he's doing. He's only shooting. The kid doesn't go to school. The kid doesn't even give a fuck about girls. He doesn't even care to have sex. This kid I'm talking about, he doesn't even care to have sex. His mentality. His adrenaline, his mentality is racing off of pain. He wanna hurt. And this is what you telling him? You like what he's doing? So this is why I feel like it differs from our generation. Like, you know what I'm saying? This generation is raised by OGs that's, you know, they scream stop the violence, but they don't do shit about it. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't grab these little niggas up, smack them up, and bring them to their parents. And if you do smack them up nowadays, I'm not going to bring the OGs with that, because if you do smack a kid up and bring him to his parent got a problem with it. So now you got to deal with that. And that's because majority of these parents out here is 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, so they don't understand that this is how it's supposed to go. Because that village is raising your child, right? So again, back to that what I was saying before, right? Village is raising a child. So if the village nowadays ain't raising a child, they are pushing the child to do exactly what he's doing, and this is why this generation is different from us. Literally, I came up from snitches get stitches. These snitches is chilling with the whole block after ratting on them. I don't understand how this works. I don't understand what is going on. This snitch could full-blown snitch. We gotta have the paperwork on him. We could have everything written out, showing you that he told his signature, his fingerprint, not fingerprint,
writing,
statement, full statement. You know what I'm saying? Written out and put it in your face with his name under it. And the motherfucker will be like, that's my man though. I don't understand. Mind you, the nigga that's defending the rat is out here doing illegal shit himself.
Right.
And he's still cool with that nigga. I just don't understand how this shit works. You know, but guess what? This is why Jay-Z remained relevant no matter what generation it has became, because he knows how to fit. And still be Jay-Z, but fit into any generation that comes. And this is why he's gonna last so long. And that's what you gotta do. You can't complain about the generation. A lot of these old heads out here, like these old hip-hop artists, be like, yo, these niggas ain't back. Man, fuck back then. This is 2016. You was rapping 1996. It was cool to do the shit you do. It's a whole different type of feel, movement, way of thinking, way people are dressing is different. Everything is different. So it's either you gonna change with the time, or just don't let the time change you. You get stuck with that old thought. Like, how much people we talk to, like, bro, that was back then. Like, why you telling me about 90 years ago? We don't give a fuck if you was hot back then, bro. Listen, this is what's going on now. We got niggas like Jay-Z that can still make a #1 record right now.
Right.
And he was at the same time as y'all. So how is Jay-Z able to make a #1 record now, but you not? I'm lost. Bro, you fit with the time. That's the only way you're going to excel, is if you stick with the time. Well, that's time, you let time pass you by. You're just going to keep being the same nigga that was dwelling on yesterday.
Right. Wrapping it up, I want to ask you, why haven't you like started a whole family? Like, what's up with that?
Kids?
Yeah, with kids.
Exactly what the fuck I just said. Nigga, I'm not gonna raise no kid in no projects. I'm not gonna raise no kid in no bad predicament. I wanna be just like, I feel like conceiving a child should be done at a perfect time in your life. When you're financially stable, physically stable, and.
But you said you just had a meal, bro.
I had
like,
a meal, and I got a meal at 18, so I made I made a lot of room. They gave me the money too quick. I was only 18 years old.
Right.
And I feel like a person coming from absolutely nothing, and you shove him that load of money into his face, anybody's gonna do exactly what I did. I was reading about Nick Cannon. And he said he got his first $100,000 check. Now he had a mentor named, Will Smith.
Right.
Will Smith was his mentor. And Will Smith, he wanted to go buy a range or something like that and go, So Will Smith told him, listen, don't buy that car. You only got $100,000. Don't go spend it like that. So Nick Cannon wound up crashing the car. Something happened with insurance, couldn't get it back. Went broke. Helping the family, went broke. And then he made a vow to himself, like, I would never do it again. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's basically what happened with that situation. So he got a chance to bounce back. I'm just waiting on my chance to bounce back. Not financially, because, I got myself back. Of course, I'm going to make sure I eat no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be one of those ambitious, motivational speakers, and I'm not myself. You know what I'm trying to say? So we're not having $1 on me. You know what I'm trying to say? I'll make sure I'm financially stable. But, so, like I said, the money was given me too early. Had it been given to me now, it would have been a whole different ball game. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, I'm going to definitely have a baby when the timing is right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm good and everybody around me good. And mind you, I already got a family now. That's somewhere still in the hood. So let me take them out, plus myself. You know what I'm trying to say? And then, you know what I'm trying to say, think about moving from them being straight after setting them straight. Because mind you, they've been my family this whole time already. Duh, right? So I got to make sure that they good. Let me take care of them, and then I can bring the new ones into the world. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, find a girl settled down. And that's the thing I feel about settling down. It's like, you know, it's called settling down, so there's no age limit to it. It's just up to yourself. Right. That's why it's called settle down. That's why you cannot be one of these people that just had one relationship, two relationships, and think that this third relationship won't work for the rest of his life. No, you haven't lived yet. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. If it does, it happens really. There's always this crazy, special, you know, certain type of people that get some type of luck, but that's not gonna happen with you. You have to live first. If you haven't lived till your body is ready to settle down, then you will constantly keep having bad relationships. And you gotta let your significant other live. You know what I'm trying to say? You gotta let him do what he wanna do and live his life. You can't lock up these girls down at 16. You can't lock these guys down at 18, 19, 20. They haven't lived yet. Right. So he loves you, yes. He wanna be with you, yes. But he's cheating and everything because he don't really know what he wants. And this is what he's trying to figure out. What exactly do he want? You know what I'm trying to say? And that's just all it really is. And that's what it comes to as far as myself. You know, I'm gonna settle down when I feel like the time is right. And I'm financially stable. Now, before we exit out of this, I just want to say one more thing. People sit up there and they say, money ain't everything. Happiness is, right? Now, I just want to tell the people that searching for happiness, you are on a blind search. It's deep. I want y'all to hear me. And Dre, object to this if because I want to hear your input on this. For real, I like your mindset anyway. We say money ain't everything, right? First of all, the people that usually say that are broke. Let's be real. Let's be 100% fact. You object to that?
No.
The people that say money ain't everything are usually fucked up and they don't know how to get a dollar, so they content with living the way they living and finding just happiness. Because they don't know how to find the money, right? All right, now when you do, they say, oh, people with money is usually miserable. Yeah, you gotta remember that tragedies happen no matter how much money you have, right? So I'd rather go through tragedies with money than without it, right? Now, mind you, if they say money ain't everything, right? And happiness is, there has never, and this is a fact, on the face of this earth, have somebody live through this earth with just happiness 24/7.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now, this is me speaking to Knocka at 18 with that $1 million.
Yeah. And
me speaking to Knocka at 28.
Yeah.
At 28, right?
Right.
When was your most happiest? When you had the $1 million?
When I had that motherfucking $1 million, nigga. I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, I've had more sexual encounters with girls at this age. I've bought a loft. I've bought jewelry and then did a lot of the things that I did with money that I went and got rather than money that was given to me. No time in the world did that $1 million in my account has I ever made myself feel like how I felt at that time. No time. No time. And I'm much more smarter now. You know what I'm trying to say? And I don't play and I don't sit up there and let it plague my mind about what I blew. But nigga, when I had that $1 million, shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, that shit felt good. You barely want to sleep. I'm telling you, bro, you barely want to go to sleep, nigga, because you feel like you missing out. You be tired of shit. I was sleeping in my car, me and Homeboy, y'all know what I mean by Homeboy, you know what I'm saying, the rapper nigga. So me and him would be sleeping in my car, waking up like, what we gonna do today? It's limitless, you know what I'm trying to say? So we could get up and go do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. So when I had that image, like we waking up like, it was like, I was Pinky, he was Brain. No, I'm Brain, he was Pinky. So he'll be like, yo, bro, what we gonna do? The same shit we try to do every day, take over the world. We in the car, we sleep for 4 hours, not even washing our dick, not even washing our body. We gonna go we dirty as hell, we gonna go shopping, put brand new clothes over our dirty ass body, put our jewelry back on, and that's how fast we was living. We was living fast, but sometimes 1 or 2 nights we didn't even shower. We got new clothes on with no shower. But I got an M, I got $1 million. Right. Fuck gonna tell me what? This is my mindset. The money was literally taking over everything. Everything. It's not something that you can control. So when you bump into somebody and you're telling them like, yo, you letting the money change them, you have to sit back and understand that it's not the money that's changing them. It's not the money that's changing them. I mean, it's not them that's changing. It's not their fault. Right. It's the money that's changing them. That money is powerful. Once you get it, it's not your fault how you begin to act, especially if you ain't used to have it. So sometimes you gotta let them get accustomed to having money and then try to alter their decisions about how they treat you. If they're not accustomed to having money right now, they don't give a fuck about your friendship. They don't give a fuck about your friendship. If I got $60 million, you tell me, yo, Knock, I ain't fucking with you no more. You think I give a flying fuck? Hell no. I don't give a fuck if my man tell me I done lost friends, bro. Nigga, if I got 60 men, you tell me you gotta fuck with me no more. I'm gonna go get me 14 white bitches. We gonna go hit up some motherfucking condo, duplex condo, and we gonna play loud music and live life. You think you not being my friend is on my mind? Hell no. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. You gotta let a person that just got the money, if they are changing on you, you gotta let them get accustomed to it and then change and stop looking for happiness, because no matter how happy you are at any point in your life, then we go back to the initial thing I wanted to say. No matter when you search for happiness, you're not gonna have that all the time. So you could be, let's say you're just happy with everything going, right? Mm-hmm. People say they search for happiness. So now you search for it, you find happiness. Tomorrow, your grandmother dies. Now you back sad. So you done wasted all this time when you could have been getting money. You done wasted this time searching for happiness. Now you sad again. Now when your grandmother died, guess what you gotta do? You gotta deal with that pain, right? Now you gotta search for happiness again. Now you're searching for happiness again. Now, of course, searching for happiness takes time. Time is what? Money, right? So now, fuck money though, right? Because these people say money ain't everything, right? So let's say you're searching for happiness. Okay, now I'm searching for happiness. Okay, she's a girl. She got the nigga she want. Oh, that's bae, that's boo. This, that, and third. She with him, right? Everything going good. He doing everything for her, texting her. Time is right. She's with him. She's happy. They having sex. The sex is good. Everything is going right? That nigga gets caught with Tanya. Now she's sad. Again, right? So she was searching for happiness again. Now she's sad. Now she got to search for it again. Searching for happiness is the same as searching for $1. The only thing about $1 is you can have it and you can hold on to it. Happiness, you can't control, because there's tragedies in life that has to happen to you. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can search for happiness all you want. Now, there's category of happiness where you can say, yo, I'm happy that I'm young, I'm in school, this, that, and third, you know, and then some tragedy happens, that's different. But it's always gonna, that's why I feel like, it's a different conversation, I ain't gonna get there, but that's why I feel like everybody somewhat is bipolar. You know what I'm saying? The feelings is always going, it's pros and cons to looking for happiness and having happiness. So like I said, if you happy or sad, I tell you one thing that you should rather being happy and sad with money. I don't give a fuck. If you happy or sad and you broke, it's a whole different outcome. But when you got money and you sad, I guarantee you it's a better feeling than being broke and being sad. I guarantee you that. So while you're searching for your happiness, that's cool, search for it. I'm one day going further explain about this happiness and sad thing. But for right now, I'm just gonna say, if you wanna search for your happiness, search for it. But I would advise you to search for the money first.
All right.
Then find happiness. Because the money is what you're gonna need. We need that to survive. We need that to eat. We have to eat. Our body has to eat. And we have to pay for food. You know what I'm saying? The way this world's set up is just we have to survive. In order to survive, we need money.
Right.
So if money is not everything, how our lives ain't? So if you're telling me money ain't everything, then you're telling me my life ain't everything, right? Because I need money to survive. So if money is not everything, and I need money to survive, are you telling me to die? I don't get it. If money's not everything, if we need money to survive, how am I gonna survive?
Right.
If happiness is, I've never seen the nigga pay his rent off of happiness. I've never seen the nigga pay his motherfucking bills by saying, you know what? I'm happy, bro. You can cash that? You know what I'm saying? You can't take care of your daughter. You can't do nothing for happiness, bro. You can't take care of your family. You can't take care of yourself for happiness. Happiness is just an emotion. That's all it is. Don't dwell off emotions. Get the dollars.
I had read this quote where it was talking about you can't buy happiness, but you can't eat with love. And that shit stuck with me for a while.
That's the realest shit ever. There's so many books. There's so many things out there. Now, mind you, everything that's coming from me, that y'all hear from me, is nothing that I've read and I'm feeding to y'all heads. I didn't read none of this shit. This shit came from me and my experience of life. Now, of course, I'm gonna have people that be like, you know what? And a lot of people gonna take clips of this interview and post it and shit like that. And a lot of people is gonna also have a problem with it. And I'm cool with that. But one day, I hope that I can sit with that person and have that debate with them and tell them this is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, because I went through this, that, and third, you know what I'm saying? So maybe if you would have no two steps on a life, you know what I'm saying? My life is never the same as yours. Even if we was twins or triplets or quadruplets, we had never had the same life. So we could chill with each other every day. We still don't have the same life, the same problems. We're not the same person, that's why. So I say that to say this. You can object or you can agree. I would just want you to, if there's something that's in this actual interview or conversation, however you put it, that you have been disturbed about, I would like for you to hit me up. You know what I'm trying to say? Tell me, yo, listen, You said this in this interview. Explain. And all I can do as a human being is tell you why I feel this way. That's all I can do. Nothing I'm saying is for you to feel this way. I just want you to understand that this is how I look at life. And I think that I look at it the right way, just as well as you have your outlook. Everybody has different aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? And this is my outlook on life. And I have my reasons of looking at life the way I do, right? Because I've lived my life. I didn't live your life. So I don't know why you would be objective to what I say. Because there's something else that you didn't experience that I don't know about that make you feel otherwise. Right. That's just all I gotta say. I just feel like everybody take questions, you know what I'm saying? I mean, ask questions, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel free to just take clips of what I'm saying or, you know, make memes out of it or disrespect anything I gotta say, you know, when literally you could just hit me up and I'll answer.
Right. That's some real shit.
Yes. Right. But, to wrap it up, BlackFlag 3.5 will be the hardest, lyricless, pain, powerful mixtape. And I want y'all to know that there is nobody better than me. As far as legendary and hard, none of these motherfucking rappers can sit with me. As far as my background, as far as the work that I put in, it ain't equal. And I have rights to feel that way. And one day when I drop my documentary and I get where I need to get, it's gonna take for me to get signed for the world to see and understand. Because then I'll be able to fully give them the story. But I'm bigger than who you think I am, although I come off as humble. But a lot of motherfuckers get humbleness confused as you being an equal. We all equal, yes, but it's levels. When a person that's being humble to you, you know, a lot of people tend to take that and feel like they on the same level as you. This is why I see why celebrities are cocky. Because they want you to know we're not on the same level. I'm not finna joke with you, play with you, none of that. We ain't equal in no way, right?
You gotta be humble like Kanye.
Gotta be humble like Kanye. But Kanye thinks so highly of himself. And the world gets threatened when they see a human think so highly of themselves.
Right.
Even from a Kanye to a Dame Dash. People looked at Dame Dash as a fucking joke. Yeah. When everything in that Breakfast Club interview was authentic. I'm laughing at once. I didn't find none of that about you being your own boss a joke. I didn't find none of that a joke. I didn't like the jokes about it. I didn't like the memes about it. And I want to one day have a conversation with Dame Dash because I feel like we have somewhat of the same outlook on life. That's another story. BlackFlag 3.5 is going to be the best motherfucking tape out there, man. Shout out to 99 kilograms. Shout out to my homie Dre. You know what time it is.
He's not coming through.
Some bitch hit my phone saying rap no good. I told that bitch she bugging. See what it did for Rocky, you see what it did for Keith. What about A Boogie? Now watch what it do for me. Once I get a rap check, I'm washing it through the street.